लाईन गेल्यामुळे ते पाण्याचा आवाज आला नाही आपल्याला.
Good morning and a very warm welcome to one and all present over here for another Super Sunday workshop. Thank you so much, participants, teachers, school leaders, directors who have been very regular in joining these sessions and getting benefited out of it. We have been able to note that there are many Army public schools participating all the time. I'm forever grateful to you. Thank you so much for joining. These participations actually motivates us a lot to continue on such kind of awareness programs, especially on a Sunday. Yeah, I should apologize. Like every Sunday, I keep making you sit from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. But just please think to be some kind of a coffee time watch or a show to get updated with whatever is happening across the country with respect to Indian education system and few other countries as well. Well, today's topic is very important from NEP perspective, and that's how to implement coding program in the schools. Coding has been buzzword in the industry. Many people, many children have been accounting for coding classes from various vendors out there. In fact, even I've been conducting a lot of coding classes. Many students have been participating. But is this an activity that needs to be conducted and learned somewhere like outside the school? Is it something like a tuition center activity? Necessarily not. And in fact, according to me, it's definitely not. And it has to be part of your existing computer science curriculum. We would have seen that these days the books that we are getting, one important question that all the schools will ask is, does your book have coding curriculum in it? Does your book talk about artificial intelligence? What is the topic that you have that you're covering in data science? These are some of the new terminologies that we have been using for the last 2 to 3 years, which are kind of mandatory in the books. You would have noticed that back in those days when you had a very renowned computer science publications, the most dominating chapter would be things related to Microsoft Office tools like MS Word or MS PowerPoint or MS Excel. It could be Access. And in fact, these chapters go long enough. If it starts somewhere in grade 3, it will go till grade 4, then grade 5, then grade 6, then grade 7. Till grade 8, you will have one or the other chapter of Microsoft, and it will continue. Half of PowerPoint learned in 5, half of PowerPoint learned in grade 6, and some part in grade 7. Well, these topics have become quite a lot redundant in nature. They're not required anymore. The children already know about them to an extent where they can manage the situation. The digital literacy part, these things are called as digital literacy. In order to summarize all these things, the technology that we are using right now in the textbook, I'll repeat it, the technology that are present in the computer science, existing computer science curriculum, is dominated with digital literacy. Now, digital literacy is a component where it is more of utilization of a technology, not making them. I'll repeat it, utilization of the technology and not creating them. Coding is that area where people found it to be quite interesting from creation perspective. we were like quite surprised for the first time when we downloaded a mobile application called as WhatsApp and chat with anyone at a speed that nobody imagined. Most of you would have come across this SMS technology. We used to, send SMS and wait for the reply for at least 5 to 7 minutes, and then it comes back. But now, with respect to WhatsApp, you just send hi, and with few seconds of response, hi comes back. Now, the first time when we talked about it, it was quite interesting. In fact, we thought like technology has gone very far, but not very far, teachers. Now the children are able to make such kind of mobile applications. I'll repeat, it is not the software developers, even the children are able to make such kind of mobile applications. So today in this session, we are going to talk about coding platforms, importance of coding, how could it be included in the computer science curriculum? Is it really mandatory for the teachers to learn everything? Let us talk about all these things one by one. But before going ahead, in order to authenticate whatever we are speaking, to talk about the relevance of whatever we're speaking, I would like to talk about Government of India and its initiatives once again, so that we get the glimpse of what exactly our intention is to. There are many countries who came up with coding platforms or coding classes. Uh, like right from 1995, 96, there were few countries in Middle East like Israel, countries like Singapore, Malaysia. Now the countries like African countries like Kenya, Uganda, like they've already started making coding as a mandatory subject. And in NEP 2020, since 2019, these things have been, the talk of the town, and many people said that yes, this has to become mandatory. And based on that, many school teachers who are even part of this session would have created your own coding curriculum. This session will give one kind of a direction with which you can actually, create them and start utilizing them. So let me quickly share my screen and talk about the Government of India initiatives, coding and its implementation. This is how it looks like. Okay, I go. I hope you're able to see this. Yes, you'll be able to see this in a few seconds. Great. So coding curriculum implementation, an idea that's going to be today's. So NEP mentions. So I wanted to speak about some important terminologies that NEP was talking about. In the main document, the first framework document, it's very clearly mentioned that apart from vocational exposure and skills, collaboration and teamwork, problem solving and logical reasoning skills, digital literacy, coding, and computation thinking are very, very important. So these are the three areas that they have specifically mentioned. Now, the moment they talk about the coding, it's actually including data science, artificial intelligence, the other dimensions of coding as well. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. So this is with respect to NEP mentions of coding. Now, eventually, when I go to the further area, Government of India took a lot of steps in order to bring a lot of reforms with respect to coding program, AI program, and these are some of them. And they released the skill modules being offered by the board in middle school for grade 6, 7, 8. And this is something like this. You have artificial intelligence, a 12-hour course. You'll have 15 theory periods, and 35. This is actually mark distribution. I'm sorry, it's not the periods. So 12 hours, theory 15 and practical 35, total 50 marks. Similarly for design thinking, information technology, coding, data science. Data science, they added only for class 8. However, as a trainer, as a teacher, I very strongly believe that data science has to be started from early ages of, grade 2, 3, 4 and all. It's quite simple. We'll talk about how to do that. And Okay. Huh. So यहाँ पर you can see artificial intelligence, design thinking, information technology, coding, and data science. So these are the skills subjects or skill modules that has come into picture with 12 hours of execution. Now there might be a very big doubt among the teachers, like how can I include in my curriculum? I have got only 40, 45 periods in one academic year. Can I really do this? Yeah, that's going to be the question. We'll talk about it. Now, these skill modules are being offered by CBSE. This does not mean that it is not ICSE. It is not present in ICSE. If there are ICSE teachers out there, based on this document, in fact, ICSE has even released a recent document, I think number 66, circular number 66 about robotics and artificial intelligence curriculum. And there they, like ICSE is known for its depth of content. And they went to 100 marks paper for robotics and AI. Many ICSE schools across India are actually using it. If anybody who's from ICSE and you know about it, I would like to request you to please put it on the chat. so that everybody is aware of that. Yeah, so that's with respect to the skill modules. So these are the initiatives taken in a nutshell. So you can see Government of India initiative, Niti Aayog launched Atal Innovation Mission. This is all about Atal Tinkering Labs in order to talk about the physical computing, physical manifestation of coding or computer science. I make a program on the computer, but it does not stay there. I need to transfer it to a physical object like robot, like a drone, things like that. That is with respect to Niti Aayog, and they launched Atal Innovation Mission. And because of this, there are a lot of Atal Tinkering Labs that are set up in the school. I would request all the leaders out there, if you do not have ATL schools, sorry, ATL labs in your schools, check Niti Aayog website on a regular basis to get an update on the release of application for the upcoming year. The application gets released, there is a funding that is allocated to the school does not have to spend much amount, and once the funding is allocated, you can set up the lab with the local vendors. If anybody would like to have a detailed or more clarity on this, you can contact me. I'll be giving my number on the chat right after this. And right after Niti Aayog, we also had AI curriculum through IBM, and this is for school students and the teachers as well. uh, AI for all is the third initiative, which is for all the people across the globe. I mean, like across India, basically. Anybody can learn AI if you have a basic digital literacy idea. And it's a 4 to 5 hours course, which could be completed by all of us. Yes, even if you're a teacher, if you're not a teacher, and they've given very nicely AI into 2 categories, and within 4 hours you can complete this. The screenshot looks something like this. Yeah. So welcome to AI for All program. You just need to use your name, mobile number to log in, and then you can do this course. I would request you to do the course. You will get a badge, which is like a certificate. Yeah. Then CBSE announces National Coding Challenge. I think in June 2023, again, it's going to happen through a platform called as Microsoft Make Code, Arcade, and Minecraft. I would like to request you to go through the circular in detail. I'm not going to use this platform today for talking about it. But anyways, it happens generally in the year June, in the month of June, when just the academic year begins in most schools. Then NEP, of course, talks about coding in middle school, and the recent documents talk about release of coding curriculum at an early stage. No mention of grade, but as early as possible. CBSE released data science curriculum in collaboration with Microsoft, the one which I showed you, the skill subject. CBSE released coding curriculum for grade 6 to 8 in collaboration with Microsoft. That is the Make Code curriculum. Honestly speaking, I did not find the Make Code. This is my personal opinion. Make code to be as attractive as the platform called as Scratch. Now, when I say attractive, it is just not with appearance, it's also with the functionalities. Even to declare a variable in Scratch, it was very simple, and not about the simplicity, it is about the simplicity of understanding the concept. But in case of Make Code, the things are kind of complex. If anybody out here in this group have used Make Code, I would request you to please tell your opinion about the platform. Yeah, so that is with respect to Make Code. So these are some of the Government of India initiatives, and apart from that, I've got ICSE and all. Okay, that's so coding. We have established that it is very important and everybody is using it. We all know about it, and we are understanding what Government of India has done. But now comes the most important aspect of what coding. The moment we talk about coding, programming, and various skill sets that are related to computer science, it is important for a teacher to understand what are the coding curriculums that are used across the globe, because that will give you a wide perspective of what should be adopted in our country. Just imagine you have not referred any document, and all of a sudden you create your own coding curriculum, and you happen to see a document after 2 or 3 years of your implementation, and that document was found to be way better than whatever you have done. You will feel that I should have watched this long time back. I should have seen this document long time back. There are few people across the globe who sit together and formulate the curriculum, thinking about the progress of the world, the technology aspect, the way things are moving forward. Some of those eminent people are, yeah, here we are. Some of those eminent people are Microsoft Class of 2030. This is a framework. Singapore framework, OECD framework, GSA framework, K-12 CSTA framework, ISTE standards. So there are multiple, actually. I've just put some of them. So actually, the above frameworks and standards, whatever I'm mentioning over here, they're very applicable to that particular region of wherever they got generated. So Microsoft Class of 23 most oriented towards European and American nations. Yeah, based on that, it is not as, it doesn't fit in Indian context. Singapore framework fits to Indian context to a large extent. However, India has got bigger topographical area, and bigger topographical, I should say Singapore is quite uniform in nature. Exposure is quite uniform. But here in India, we still have rural areas, tribal areas where the people are still trying to access the internet for the first time. So that's the reason I don't find Singapore framework to be, again, very standard, but Indian touches there to a large extent of Singapore. OECD framework, Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. They are the one who conducted this PISA test. And the PISA test was quite famous, and it's going to happen again in this year, I guess. And they came up with technology framework. It was amazing. GSA framework is again more oriented towards America, and they talk about STEM mindset. STEM, STEM mindset. Finally, we have K-12 CSTA framework and ISTE standards. Now, K-12 CSTA is Computer Science Teachers Association. Have you come across this platform called as code.org? If you have, or if you have not, don't worry. Today, I'm going to introduce some of the platforms with which you'll get an idea. Even if you know, you'll be happy about it. If you do not know, this session will give you a lot of new tools today. CSTA framework, Computer Science Teachers Association, is a group of people, is an association where people are from diverse areas. Like, it's just not from America, it's just not from London. Like, people from India are participants of there. People from MIT Stanford, the person who created Scratch, Mitch Resnick, and his team members, they are part of CSTA team. So we found CSTA framework to be the ideal framework to follow for drafting a coding curriculum. Like, with my research of around 2 years, 2 to 3 years, I should say, since the inception of my career in writing books, I found CSTA framework to be really updated and spot on with respect to applicability in every country. So that's something that I've kept in mind. And this chat GPT, the concept of computer vision, NLP, all these things to be covered in our textbook is something very important. In India, we used to have in grade 9 to 12 curriculum about all these things in a subject called as AI. However, CSTA has been talking about this in, like, since the last 10 to 15 years. So what is CSTA framework? What is ISTE standards? We'll be looking into it. And looking into these standards and framework, we came up with our own curriculum as well, which I will talk about last. That's it. This is the theory part. Now, with respect to this, let me show you some of the areas where we can work on coding as a curriculum. The most important part, let me stop sharing the screen as of now. The most important aspect of implementing coding curriculum, that is it's part of computer science. Why it's part of computer science? Is it part of other subjects? Of course, computer science itself is a part of every subject, but the coding as a separate entity can be spoken about and talked about only during computer science subject periods right now. And in a typical Indian school scenario, on one particular week, a school gets 2 computer science periods, which accounts to approximately 50 to 60 periods in one academic year. Let me remove some of the periods over here because of some other teachers coming and taking your periods for completing the portion. As computer science is not considered to be a mainstream subject, it will not be. Eventually, board paper will come into picture, which will account for your actual board percentage. So then things will become more interesting. But as of now, when we talk about computer science, generally in the month of January, February, computer science teachers are bound to give their periods to maths and science. Well, why I'm saying this is this 50 to 60 periods cannot be considered as 50 to 60. Probably it'll become 40 to 45. So effectively, if I consider 40 to 45 periods, I am going to consider the textbooks that are existing in the market. Can I complete 40 to 45 periods in one textbook? Definitely, I can do it. No problem at all. Every company comes up with their own publication models. Some people to even give their lesson plans like we do. Some people even give their teacher training like we do. So everybody has their own strategy to help the teachers to complete it. Now, coming to the point, most of these publications which are existing right now, they are dominated with digital literacy content. When we talk about digital literacy, like MS Paint, like Microsoft Office Word, the importance that are given in the chapter is quite huge. If a teacher has got a very good way of making the lesson plans of computer science, trust me, the whole book could be completed within 18 to 20 periods maximum with practical applications. But of course, you will have to ignore few redundant and irrelevant points that are present in the book according to digital literacy. But the point of mentioning this is, if you can complete 18 to 20 periods within that your existing computer science curriculum, you can actually use the remaining 15 to 20 periods for your coding curriculum. So in order to establish coding curriculum, if it is part of the book, it's great. But if it is not, then 20 periods is something you can definitely pull out. I'm able to do that research with at least 110 to 120 pilot schools, and I found that it is quite possible. There are very famous publications existing in the market who say that the coding curriculum is included in the book and they have a chapter on app development or game development. Well, teachers, I don't find that to be the complete coding aspect. It is just a bounty, or the terminologies used, app and game development, so that a small part of coding is given, like a hint, it's there, coding is there. However, to talk about all these things in detail, in the right manner, right fashion, I'm very sure you require your own preparation and at least 20 periods. So this is something that I wanted to establish first. And now, once you know that within 20 periods you can complete it, what could be done? What are the platforms that could be accessed? Let me show you a chart. I think if you have attended our earlier sessions, you would have seen this particular chart before as well. And this is how it looks like. I go over here. I click on this, and here we are. I'm sharing my screen. I'm sorry, the computer is little. Huh. I hope you are able to see this. Yes, now you will be able to see this. So now this particular curriculum map is the framework that we drafted. Okay, and this framework we drafted for our computer science curriculum. So we have our own computer science textbooks, which we have been giving it to the schools. And I'm talking with Army Welfare Education Society head office as well. I would request the support of APS principals. If you're there, key, this curriculum is good, you can call me. I can come to your school and give a demonstration. And if you could have one or two letters, a recommendation letter from your side that SuperTeacher curriculum is good, we would like to adopt it, to AVIS office, then I have a chance of incorporating this in your school. But for that, I would request the principals to be 100% convinced with whatever I'm providing and with whatever research we've been doing. But keeping all those sales aspect little aside, right now let me tell you what exactly the research was all about. Now, when we talk about coding, there is always a confusion of, is app development coding, is scratch coding? Let me tell you something. Now, with respect to coding, the children, when they make something, they come up with a product. Now, if this product is a game, that's called as game development. If they make a mobile application and in that mobile application they make a game, that could be considered as a game development or app development as well. If the children are able to make an AI program, an AI model, and they are able to classify the differences between wet and dry waste, that is again AI model development. Now, whenever I say development leads to the product, a product that can be utilized either on the computer or it could be transferred and used. This development is part of a bigger coding picture. Coding would be all about learning the concepts of what is a loop, the conditions, the arrays, the lists. There are a lot of the variables. There are a lot of things that the children actually require before developing that product. Hence, if I have a chapter on app development, and if I don't talk about what a loop is, that means that app development is actually redundant in nature. It's more of, for the namesake of keeping it, it is there. I need to tell the children how exactly things work. That's where I came up with this concept of 3 areas of learning cycle, which is foundation, discovery, and expedition. When I talk about foundation content, keeping in mind digital literacy, citizenship, programming, data science, and AI, 5 areas of content development. This is for my curriculum. But for coding program, what we have done is we have this programming where we have categorized into block and text based, which is Python, HTML, as the text based programming. We have included HTML, CSS, and HTML, JavaScript as well for grade 7 and 8 respectively. But for programming, we are talking about the concepts first, called as loops, sequencing, parallelism, everything first. And once the children attain the concept and knowledge, they try to develop a product which comes to CS discovery, computer science discovery, where web development comes into picture, app development comes into picture, game development comes into picture. So development is coming from the conceptual understanding and learning of it. And once the development happens, the children start making programs with a little extra interest because they made something which the other people are able to feel it and they get an appreciation for that. But this particular point has got certain saturation. Say, for example, let us consider Anupama ma'am, who is a student of grade 7. Anupama is a student of grade 7, for example. She has learned the concept of events, functionalities, loops, conditions, and everything, and she created a mobile application which could be uploaded on Play Store. She's immediately calling a relative and saying that you know uncle, auntie, I have completed something, ऐसे कुछ बनाया है मैंने, आप Google Play Store में जाके you can download it. Now, the moment she says this, the level of excitement is going to be really high because the uncle or the aunt on the other side are going to download it and use the app. And when they're going to use the app, there is going to be a very high sense of motivation for this little girl to make it again and again and again. Now, this particular process has got one small saturation because there's going to be a time as the children are there in school, the complexity of an app is kind of saturated. I cannot go after a certain point. For that, I need to actually learn coding with a team, and that's what these software developers do. Now, in order to kindle or in order to rekindle that interest, before it crosses the saturation point, "Arey bas ho gaya, I don't want to do app development," we come up with a third component called as CS Expedition. Now, CS Expedition is the place where the program that's done or made on a particular product, it could be mobile or computer, gets transferred to a physical object. And that's why we call that as physical computing. You know about Sophia. Sophia, do you know about Sophia? Sophia is an AI robot. It even got citizenship. So tomorrow, Robin Sharma and Sophia can go shopping. How about that? So Robin Sharma is like one of the members here. I think I'm just kidding. The point is, the robot can actually come along with you because it has got even the citizenship in one of the countries, Saudi Arabia, if I'm not wrong. So here, when I talk about Sophia, you are amazed. You're like, wow, somebody can come shopping with us, and it has got the citizenship. But end of the day, if I talk about ChatGPT is another program wherein whatever you ask ChatGPT, it will respond to you. It's an AI bot, a chat bot, where you ask for anything, it gives you the answers, just like Google does. ChatGPT is just an advanced version. It can give you anything and everything. This particular version of ChatGPT does not have a human form. That got converted to Sophia by transferring that program from here to there. I hope you're getting the connect. So physical computing is an attribute of computer science software or computer program development, with which people get an understanding of how physical computing can actually solve real world problems. So this is one important area that we need to understand, and that's the reason we have CS Expedition in picture, where we have a program to be transferred from discovery to expedition. I think this is clear. So there is a derivation again. Concept is present. Use the concept, make a product, use the product on the computer to be transferred to the physical world and call it as physical computing. And by the time Manju is keeping on practicing on this, she will have a very good picture of what's happening around the world. And based on that, her career will be designed. So if at all you prepare a curriculum, you can prepare it based on concept, development, and physical computing. Make sure the concept of the foundation is always present. If it is not present, then you are missing out on the details, the most important part. The saturation will come sooner. The students will lose an interest in coding program altogether. And that is why many parents right now are not interested to put their child in coding programs, because they've already done it 1 or 2 years in various companies. They don't want to continue this because they know already what is present there, and they don't really want to go forward in this. If any school has got robotics lab, or if they want to have a robotics lab, to connect it with their computer science subject, we have already done the complete research. I can have a free talk with you and I can help you in connecting that with this. In fact, Niti Aayog website also has got this content of connecting computer science programming with Atal tinkering labs or the physical computing that's present in the schools. So this is the main thing that I wanted to convey with respect to implementation of coding program, with respect to pedagogy from teachers point of view. Now coming to the platforms point of view, let me stop share the screen for a moment. If at all there is a question, you can keep putting it on the chat. I'll just that's great, Omanju ma'am. Okay. IoT, yes, IoT is all about connecting multiple things over internet, yeah, on objects. Alexa could be IoT. So let me share my screen and show you this. And this is quite interesting from platform's perspective. And this is how it looks like. Now, finally, when we come to the aspects of uh, teaching coding using platforms. Okay, here we are. I'm sorry. Huh. So we go here. Yeah. Now, all the computer science teachers or the school leaders who are present, coding can be taught to children in multiple methods. Some people create their own curriculum using the available platforms. Some people, like the computer teachers, would have already created the lesson plans and would have uploaded it. I'll repeat it. Some people use the platforms to create the lesson plans. Some people would have already created the lesson plans and would have uploaded. That means what? Suppose if I have to talk about Python programming language. Now, Python is a programming language where I need to teach them the syntax. I need to teach them the concepts one by one. I need to show them the programs by making it in front of them. Do I have a place wherein already the lesson plans are written? This is what is supposed to be the first lesson, second lesson. Yes, we have. There are thousands of websites who have got course on Python. Now, are they really applicable for school scenario? Now, it is important for the teachers to visualize that, to generalize that, and create the content. If I have to talk about programming language for grade 3 and 4, many people are very much accustomed with software called as Scratch. Now, Scratch is a platform which is open in nature. It's plain in nature. And when it is plain, a teacher can design whatever they want. Now, let me show you something here in this case. Let us go to Scratch. Now, Scratch has got this website called as scratch.mit.edu. Now, the moment you get into this website, they've got this option of create over here. Click on create, and then you can start creating your own programs. Now, what is a highlight over here? If at all there is a teacher who is, say, for example, Archana, and Archana is going to teach Scratch to the children today. So she'll be opening this platform, clicking on create aspect, and then she's going to arrange the blocks in a particular fashion. Now, Scratch is going to be a block based programming language. So she's like, let me bring move 10 steps over here, turn 15 degrees, and I click on this. When I click on this, the cat is moving in a particular fashion. We all know this, right? So Scratch is all about drag and drop mechanism. And it also has got very good features on sound as well. Like, for example, something like, so for every step I do this, there's a movement of cat and along with the sound. So based on the program, it is going to perform an action. Here, the stage is open. A teacher can do whatever they want and can teach the children. But if I go to this platform called as code.org, now code.org is the place where you've got the existing lesson plans created by people. Now, we were talking about Computer Science Teachers Association. You remember? Yeah, this is the one. Frameworks across the globe. We were talking about a CSTA framework, right? Now, like code.org is created by teachers who are part of Computer Science Teachers Association. Now, when I click on learn over here, and the moment I click on learn, there are existing lesson plans which are present all the time. Okay. Let me show you this. And these lesson plans are so nice that based on the degree or based on the grade, you can actually choose the topic. So let me click on KG to 5 as of now. I click on K to 5 courses. And the moment I click on this, there is something called as Pre-Reader Express. The moment I click on this, which is for ages 4 to 8, approximately pre-KG, KG, and 1. Imagine from KG grade 1 perspective, children are going to get access to computer for the first time. They would not even know how to use mouse. So look at the first chapter, learn to drag and drop. I click on chapter number 1. The moment I click on this, so there's going to be an instruction coming on the top, something like this. Click the block. I click on OK. And the moment I click on the block, it says, congratulations, you completed puzzle 1. Let's continue. I go to the second puzzle. And now for a KG student or a grade 1 student, what they're going to do, drag the block to the target. So the block is to be dragged gradually to the target, something like that. I hope you got the connect. So in this way, the complexity of this particular lesson gradually gets increased. So let me show you more. let me show you more. Arrange the blocks to form an image. So now here I have to connect it. Two more, and then we'll continue. Then again, I go with further aspects of, come on. No, probably the complexity of 3. Oh no, it's on the top. And one last, and I'll show you the other features over here. So in this way, you can see that on the top, the radio button gets colored to green, highlighting the fact that you have kind of completed this. So I am arranging this. I'm arranging this. Now, here's the point where teachers will be able to tell the students that there is always a systematic order for arranging things. And when the child is coming to grade 3 or 4, this systematic order or procedure is called as algorithm. When you say that, it will be easy for the children to connect. When we directly introduce the topic of algorithm without giving them an understanding or insight of such kind of activities, it will become little difficult for few students in the class to understand or cope up. And that is the reason platforms like code.org should be adopted. You don't have to speak. We don't have to speak about the concept over here. Let us keep on doing the activities as much as possible. The mindset is automatically getting crafted over here. I would also like to highlight, some people might think, is this part of coding? In fact, I to buy these jigsaw puzzles from the market and do it. If you're buying jigsaw puzzles from the market and doing it with the children, that is also a great way of learning coding. Coding is not about just syntaxes and computer programming that's present out there. It's a way of thinking process, and for this thinking process they use a terminology called as computational thinking. I'll repeat it: computational thinking. Computational thinking, is it like the way computers think? Yes, absolutely yes. And how do computers think? So computational thinking has got a certain process. I would like to tell that right now. The first process of a computational thinking, where to solve a very big problem, to solve a problem, the computer first, rather than looking at the whole problem, it will try to break the big problem into small parts. Now, the ability of computer, I'll repeat, the ability of a computer or a human being to break a very big problem into small parts is called as decomposition. I'll repeat it, is called as decomposition. The first step of computational thinking is decomposition. Once you have broken down like the problem into smaller parts, the ability of a computer to understand the pattern between the problems. When you break down, it's like multiple problems are there, but they're all having one common pattern. If I solve that one thing, I think I'll be able to solve the whole problem. Now, this ability of the computers to understand the pattern is called as pattern recognition. Decomposition, pattern recognition. And during this pattern recognition process, a computer or a human being, if we are able to understand that some components of this pattern is not at all required, let me ignore them. The moment I wake up in the morning, the first thing that I need to give priority is to get ready my children to go to the school, and later my husband probably, or my wife. Are you able to understand? This later aspect of giving priority to husband or wife little later is called as abstraction, ignoring what's not important right now and giving priority to the task that's important right now. This ability is called as abstraction. Decomposition, pattern recognition, abstraction. And right after abstraction, once you have removed the problems which are not necessary right now, you can target on the ones that are important. And in order to solve this particular targeted problem, you can have an algorithm. So that is the last step, algorithm to solve that particular problem. Now, this whole step, this process of solving a problem is called as computational thinking. Why did we talk about computational thinking? Because I am not here to talk about, I am in the sense computer science or coding says that I'm not here to just give you the skill sets of making a good program, but I am actually a way of thinking process, a lifestyle. In fact, you know coding, you do not know coding. It's like you know thinking and you do not know thinking. It's something like that. I'm giving a vague terminology, but something like that. The process involves a lot of creativity, a lot of critical thinking. Forget about all those things. Computational thinking, one step itself is more than sufficient. We are talking about this because through platforms like code.org, we can imbibe these skill sets without actually naming them. Here, the children are able to see that there is a big problem of solving the dog, and the small parts are present over here. Decomposition. I'm able to see the pattern, like the way the dog's face is arranged, the tongue is present over there. Pattern recognition. I don't want to take the head right now. Let me just put this first. I took this as a priority. I did not use the other two. It's abstraction. And finally, when I arrange all of them in a particular fashion, My program is completed. That's algorithm. I hope you got the connect of computational thinking. Yeah. So now code.org, apart from these lesson plans, which are present over here, let me come back and show you how they look like. So these are existing lesson plans that are present, which a teacher can use to teach for the first time. And once that is done, these existing lesson plans are done, then coming to platform like Scratch, where it is completely open, speak whatever you want, go to any level of complexity you want, the children will be able to comprehend this in a faster manner. That is the whole agenda. So lesson plans are already present. Open platform, which is called as an IDE, integrated development environment, also present. We all need to identify that right platform and put it in our curriculum, so that as a teacher, you are able to teach it properly. As a student, the students are able to learn it properly. That's it. So these lesson plans are present. Even code.org has got platforms on which you can create programs like on Scratch. Okay, I would request everybody to please be on mute. Okay, yeah. It's okay if you're on unmute, it's totally fine, until you are there in a place where there is a healthy conversation happening. Pata chala there is some fight happening in the home and you're on unmute, that's going to create a lot of embarrassment, which has happened with me. uh yes, Manju ma'am, computational thinking does not always require devices to solve the problem. It is a program that does it. Actually, it is a program that actually does it. However, even human beings can have that kind of an approach. That's what I intended to speak with respect to code.org. Now, once code.org is done, I wanted to just click on projects, and you can see that there is something called a Sprite Lab, Artist Lab, App Lab for introduction of mobile application development for children in grade 4 and 5. You have App Lab, and then Game Lab, and all these things. Okay, so this is with respect to code.org and Scratch. I'm talking about only 2 or 3 platforms in this session. If anyone would like to have a detailed version of it, I would request you to please contact me. We can have a quick demo. And if you want us to implement this in your school, we could do that, because we have arranged all of these things in a very good pattern. And most importantly, for the upcoming academic year, I have even written the books for the same. So if anybody would like to get the books, and the cost is very nominal, considering this to be a Super Sunday workshop, I don't really want to get into the details of finances. But if anybody's interested, you can please contact us. You can get the book, and you can. And if any school wants to have our trainer coming to your school and doing it as your school teacher, you can still do it. अगर किसी school को हमारी तरफ से trainers चाहिए with the books, हम वो भी कर सकते हैं. I'm just saying that this is possible. Now coming to the part of the artificial intelligence and data science. Now we established the fact that with lesson plans and IDE, we can create our own teaching material for coding. But now, suppose let's play this game. I think some of you would have seen this. Some of you would have done this. If not, you can put it on the chat. I'm going to play a small game called as quick draw dot with google.com. And here in this case, it is asking us to draw trumpet in under 20 seconds. What is going to happen? Look at this. I go here and okay. The
I
moment I
see
draw
line,
something, there
or
is
ear,
there is a guess
or
that's
nose.
happening by the computer. Okay, so
I see
okay,
banana, or
come on.
telephone, or boomerang, or hockey stick. I see saxophone.
It was not a trumpet. It was not a trumpet.
Sorry,
It was not
I
able to
couldn't
guess. So
guess
it's
it.
asking us to draw a submarine. Okay, let's draw a submarine. Okay, and this is the water.
I see ocean. Oh, I know,
Great.
it's
It was able to see the
submarine.
submarine. Perfect. The computer is able to guess it. There are 6 diagrams. I'm there in the draw sun in under 20 seconds. Come on.
I see circle, or pear, or
Hey.
pineapple.
Huh.
Oh, I know,
I was
it's
surprised
sun.
that. See, I'm surprised that the computer is not able to guess. Why should I be surprised that the computer is not able to guess? It's a non-living thing, right? Draw bicycle in under 20 seconds. Okay, this is also simple.
I see
Okay.
circle, or moon, or blueberry. Oh, I know, it's bicycle.
Okay, that was a very bad bicycle, but it's there. Draw laptop in under 20 seconds. Okay.
I see nail,
Okay.
or bench, or swing set.
Okay.
Oh, I know,
That's perfect.
it's
It's a laptop.
laptop.
That's great. Draw cactus in under 20 seconds. This is the last one. Cactus, cactus.
I see squiggle, or heart, or campfire, or squirrel. I
Come
see
on.
yoga. Or octopus. Or rabbit. Or
This is
dragon.
cactus.
Or strawberry.
I never
I
thought
see
that I'll not be
train.
able to make.
Or watermelon. Sorry, I
It was
couldn't
not able to
guess
guess
it.
the cactus and it was not able to guess the trumpet. Now, when I'm talking about this particular game for grade 3 or grade 4 child, they're going to look at this very keenly and they're going to play this. But what as a teacher, you are going to talk to them. As a teacher, you are going to directly come to this conclusion called as data. You click on this data and you tell the children, just like the way I use, the teacher uses multiple examples to convey a concept, even a computer requires multiple examples like this to convey a particular message. And based on these diagrams that are present across, for example, I click on penguin. All the penguins drawn by the people across the globe will be present over here. And looking at this, the computer tries to come to a conclusion. And these examples for a computer is called as data. And it's all about data science. And the ability of a computer to come to a conclusion based on multiple sets of data is called as machine learning. If I do the same with multiple examples for a human, it's a human learning leads to human intelligence. Here, multiple examples for a computer, which is called as data, which is called as machine learning, which leads to artificial intelligence. So we are giving the importance of data at grade 3 level without really talking about complex substance over here. By the time the child is coming to, say, for example, grade 5 or 6, there is this platform called as Google Teachable Machine, where the children can create their own machine learning model for the first time. And here in this machine learning model, they create something and they transfer the program from the computer to any physical object, and they can create any project. Let me show you. I click on get started. The moment I click on get started, this is how it looks like. And I click on image project, a standard image model. Say, for example, the class 1. I would like to introduce this to be, this is me. Okay. I click on the webcam. And the moment I click on the webcam, I come here, I'm part of the system, and I smile. Okay. Image samples are taken. Now I say that uh, this is my pillow. And I click on the webcam. Okay. And I go back to take the pillow over here. Okay. And say something like this. And I hold the record. That's it. Very simple. Yeah. Now I click on train model. The moment I click on train model, the computer tries to learn based on these examples, and it'll come up to a conclusion over here on the right side. What's really interesting about this platform is you can actually create a lot of machine learning models like this. Some of them could be difference between wet waste and dry waste. And you can transfer this program to a mechanism of robotics or whatever it is. You just have to take wet waste in front of the dustbin. Automatically, the lid which is responsible for wet waste will get opened. The dry waste lid will get opened. So you can make a program like this, and you can, in fact, this was even done by one of the students in security camera. He was like, he introduced all his family members, and only when the family members are coming and standing in front of the door will open. If there is anybody else, it will not open. So this is something that they've used, but this particular model is just not for that. There are various other purposes as well. But the point is, you can do it on Google Teachable Machine. Let us see this. It's the training is happening right now. You can see that 45, 46, 47. It's almost there, almost there. And the moment I come over here, yeah. So there I'm here over here, and it says that this is me. Very simple. And when I bring the pillow over here, it says this is my pillow. This is me, and this is the pillow. Very simple. You can see the graph going over here. Both of us come over here. So there is some amount of confusion, and you can see that over there. I come over here, it's me, and there's a pillow. It's a clear distinctive differences, so it's quite easy to understand this or comprehend. Now this is Google Teachable Machine, which I wanted to introduce. Now this is the this like expanded version of probably Quick Draw. I talk about Quick Draw in grade 3 or 4. But when we talk about a machine learning model, about like how it works, probably I can talk about Google Teachable Machine in grade 6 or 7 or 5. So depending on the age of the children, these topics are introduced. I would like to show you one last thing with respect to what I have done at SuperTeacher. If anybody is interested to want this particular curriculum, please contact us. I'll be able to provide this at a very, very nominal price, because there's huge efforts that my team has done, and based on that, the curriculum is actually drafted. We have culminated everything, we have touched every side. If you have seen today, with whatever platforms we discussed today, all of them are open sources. With this workshop itself, whatever platforms you got an access to right now, you can start using them. They're not chargeable at all, they're all open sources. So there is a very good independency that you have within you. So even if down the line, if you say that, Vasu, I don't want your curriculum, let me do it my own way, you can go ahead and do it. Why not? It's completely open source. Here the intention is to give you a very good categorization so that the impact can happen on the children during the school time itself, within your school periods, especially the computer science period. Let me show you what work we have done, and for that I would like to show the last PDF, which looks something like this. Yeah, I got it. So if any school out there is interested to get this curriculum, do contact us. The inquiry form is coming on the chat. And for regular Sunday workshop, the topics related to it, the links related to it, if you'd like to get it, please join the Telegram group. The link will be there. Swati will be posting, our team member will be posting on the chat right away. I'm sharing my screen, and this is how it looks like. Okay, and here we are. So what I have is, I have categorized the curriculum something like this. Now this is for grade 3. For grade 3, these are the chapters that I have for programming. These are the chapters that I have for artificial intelligence. And these are the chapters that I have for data science and digital citizen and literacy as well. If you want to implement only coding program, I can give only programming. If you want to have coding, programming, AI and data science, I can give all the three. So this categorization is present across all the grades, and every grade will have separate chapters, so that when the child is coming to the next year, automatically the new book is used. So this is how for each and every grade we have worked on this. And it was not a simple thing that we, say for example, I have included make code. I've talked about charming the Python by using PyCharm ID. We talked about creating a personal Wikipedia using HTML. We spoke about creating a website through HTML and CSS, befriending the Python, computational thinking, tapping the power of AI. All these things are, in fact, understanding Google Smart Home is also part of the whole curriculum. So this is how our draft has happened, and this is how my books would look like. Every guidebook will have a context which is beginning, which would be about real life based. So the whole curriculum is drafted based on competency based education system, and competency based education system talks about real world applications maximum. It's like, go to the children's surrounding, give them examples that they can relate to, and based on that, you continue a chapter. So that's what I'm intending to do. So you have the draft opening over here, and gradually it continues. I would like to show you one very good example called as the costliest bug, which looks something like this. So basically, when I wanted to teach coding to children, I wanted to teach them how does an error look like. And when I wanted to talk about error in a particular program, I had this chapter called as costliest bug. So first of all, I wrote that in 1962, NASA built a spacecraft named Mariner 1 to study the planet Venus. Shortly after the rocket carrying Mariner 1 took off, there was a miscommunication, and the rocket did not listen to the ground team, and it did not go to the Venus orbit at all. Why? What happened? Because there was a small error. So later it was found that there was a small error in the code that the scientists used to control the rocket. What was the error? How small was it? How was it rectified? Let's explore. I am giving a need for the children to know the importance of errors in a particular program. My whole chapter will continue. My whole chapter will continue. And at the end, I will have a conclusion to that particular context also, which looks something like this. Yeah. So, yeah. So just like we guided Laurel using codes, the scientist also wrote a huge code to guide Mariner 1's rocket. However, while writing the code, they forgot to put a hyphen in the program, a small hyphen. This is not something that's created. It is actually existing. You can actually research about it in a line of code. This caused the ground station to send a wrong direction to the rocket. This made the scientists worried that the rocket might crash in a town or a city in the country. So they destroyed it. However, the missing hyphen proved to be one of the costliest bugs. They corrected it, and Mariner 2 was sent again successfully. So this is how the story is actually existing. And I use this particular story as a context in this particular chapter to bring competency based education relevance over here, and also to give the children the requirement of why should I learn about troubleshooting and bugs and things like that. The chapter name is costliest bug. One last thing before we conclude for the day, and that is with respect to this. So every chapter will also have info bytes, which is quite interesting in nature. Here we say that bug is error in a particular program. Why do we call bug as an error in a program? Bug is actually a bug, right? Because in 1947, the computer at Harvard University was not working. When it was opened, a bug or moth was found stuck in the computer parts. And that was the reason why the computer stopped working. So there was an actual bug. And when the person found it out, he said that, sir, there is a bug. And that's why the computer is not working. Since that day, since 1947, any error in a program is called as a bug. Obviously, when you remove the bug, it is called as debugging. That's it from my side, teachers. I hope everybody got an idea of what coding curriculum could be, how it could be implemented in the school. There was a lot of things covered in 1 hour. If you would like to go through this session, the recording will be uploaded on SuperTeacher official YouTube channel, and we'll share the link during our thank you message on WhatsApp as well. I'll personally message everyone. I wholeheartedly thank everyone once more for joining on every Super Sunday workshop. I'll ensure that your time of 1 hour on a Sunday is valued good enough so that you have a lot of takeaway, and request you to please join the Telegram group for getting regular updates. If you want to have any clarity on any of the things that are spoken during these days, please contact me. I'm sharing my personal number 9790941568, and you will have certificate issued. I'll request everybody to be patient for the certificate because I'll be able to give this before next Monday, not tomorrow, before next Monday. Our teams regularly work vigorously on creating these certificates because every time the participants are there, and yeah, so yeah, requesting your patience. That's it from my side, teachers. Thank you so much. Have a great Sunday. I'll see you in the next Super Sunday workshop. The topic is under the drafting stage. You will definitely get it by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Please participate on every Sunday just like usual. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. See you soon. Bye everyone. Thank you, Shakti ma'am. Thank you, Savita ma'am. Ruby ma'am, you will get the certificate in the mail. Thank you, Himangi ma'am. Thank you, Vasundhara ma'am. Thank you, everyone. Yes, Swarnalata ma'am, we will have on maths, we will have on social studies, we will have Super Sunday workshops on almost all the subjects. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's not a place for, yeah, I'm keeping it very common. Right now, this coding curriculum, continuous professional development program, these are the need of the hour. And that's the reason, I'm initiating such kind of conversations, but eventually it will be there. Shubhra ma'am, you are here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Isha ma'am, means a lot. Yes, early childhood care and education for kindergarten. Yes, it'll be there. Montessori and ECCE. We will be speaking about that as well. Meenakshi ma'am, definitely. I'm a big fan of social studies. My father is a social studies teacher, so we are there. We'll do it eventually, ma'am. This particular Sunday, today's, yeah, you will definitely receive a certificate. Ma'am, if you're unable to join the Telegram, please message me on my number. I'll help you join there. Sure, you'll have Max workshop as well. We'll talk about it, how to effectively conduct max class or something like that. I need to make sure that there's sufficient amount richness in the content in that 1 hour. So I need time. I'll do it. Yeah. Thank you, Mrs. Razia. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Means a lot. Vaishali ma'am, you will get the certificate before next Monday. To join Telegram, our team member is giving the link on the chat. Okay, Telegram link is not loading. Okay, I'll do something right away for Telegram link. I would let me give you the Telegram link again. It should be working, but if it's not working, don't worry. I'll give you right now another one, because many people are participating there. We regularly post the details. Okay, I go to Telegram. I click on the settings. Okay. I got the invite link. Copy link. I put it to Swati. Swati, I have shared you Telegram link on WhatsApp. Telegram link on WhatsApp, rival companies. It's just like, you use the Internet Explorer to download Chrome. I do not know if you're able to understand this, but generally when the computer is newly purchased, you don't have Chrome by default over there. You need to download Chrome, and for that you use Internet Explorer, and then you delete Internet Explorer. You'd never use it, something like that. Yes, so mostly the next session, as many of you are like leaving, so I can say this, mostly next session will be related to the National Curriculum Framework, the next Sunday workshop, because they spoke about early childhood care and education. So let's see. Yeah, Telegram link is online. Requesting everybody to fill okay. Telegram link when I'll get it. Okay, don't worry, ma'am, you'll get the Telegram link. Who is this? Yeah. Okay, you can message me otherwise. Now working, that's great. Okay, some people it's working, some people it's not working. If it's not working, please message me on my number on WhatsApp. I'll help you join the group. Don't worry, I'll manually do it. Please fill up the inquiry form for more details. I would like to request the teachers to please talk to your school leaders to adopt the coding curriculum, and we can give this. WhatsApp number is also coming on the chat. Swati, Miss Swati will be SuperTeacher team members will be sharing it. 9790941568. That's my number. An inquiry form, if you fill that, you will have that. Savita ma'am, Pushpalata ma'am, don't worry. You can message me on WhatsApp. I'll be able to guide you there. Okay, great. Nina Sudan ma'am, sure. Languages in higher classes, sure. I'll look into it. I'll look into its requirement and I'll definitely do it, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, let me close the session then in that case. Thank you so much, teachers. I'll see you in further Super Sunday workshops. Have a Super Sunday. Bye, everyone.